Standing at the limit of an endless ocean, stranded like a runaway lost at sea. City on a rainy day down in the harbour, watching as the grey clouds shadow the bay. Looking everywhere cause I had to find you. This is not the way that I remember it here. Anyone will tell you it's a prisoner island, hidden in the summer for a million years. Great southern land.
I have to give full credit for the suggestion of turning Great Southern Land into a 25-minute piece for the Millennium to Ignatius Jones. Now, Ignatius Jones also had a life in rock and roll way back, but at the time he was working with David Atkins and Max Lambert as part of the creative team behind the celebration of the Millennium on the Harbour. So David Atkins and Ignatius were working on ideas for what might happen that night, and they came up with some fantastic ideas, including all the floating lanterns and so on. And Ignatius was the one who said, look, we've got these resources. We have the Sydney Symphony, we have Taikos, who are a fantastic group of Japanese drummers based in Sydney. We have the Forecourt of the Opera House. We'd like you to turn Great Southern Land into a major work. And at that point, I said to Ignatius, well, I've just been working with Richard Tognetti, and he's very keen to explore the potential of an electric violin, something he's not necessarily that well known for. And I'd like to get him in as a kind of co-soloist. And that was where the whole unit was put together. And once again, I worked with Richard intermittently during the year, but it took the best part of a year to put that together as well. It was quite a major thing for me, and by the time we'd recorded it as well, it was a very big project.
And it was good because it was the first time I'd performed on the electric violin, which I'd always loved doing in my bedroom.
But he combines with, of all people, Richard Tognetti. And so you get Iva Davies, who, by the way, is classically trained and had gone to the Conservatorium of Music, which literally is just up the road, and Richard Tognetti, who basically is busy trying to bring the violin to the masses.
And it was quite a momentous event because we knew it was being beamed out to, you know, the greater world.
And on the night itself, when we're performing it live, of course, everything had to be timed to literally the millisecond. And I was terrified, of course, because I thought, if we get this wrong, you know, you can't exactly have a second shot at the Millennium. So we had backups of backups, and we had it all worked out with the broadcasters, and it was actually very nerve-wracking. It took me a while to settle down and realise that we were underway, and you know, we had 25 minutes to go.
But as a consequence of that, a song which had started its life, probably best remembered for the Yahoo Serious film, where there was a tiny little boat heading off into the vastness of the ocean with Great Southern Land, suddenly becomes one of the central songs in the Australian catalogue. So there is Great Southern Land, there is I Am Australian, I Still Call Australia Home. It suddenly joins that particular group. And it's a hugely important concert because we were certainly very early in the cycle of the Millennium.
I remember when the piece finished, there was the countdown, 10, 9, 8. The Lord Mayor of Sydney, Frank Sartor, handed me a glass of champagne, and then the fireworks went off. Just like that. It was completely surreal. It was the place to be, I'm sure, in the world on that occasion.
Great Southern Land.